Thailand, officially the Kingdom of Thailand, or formerly known as Siam, is a country at the center of the Indo-Chinese Peninsula in mainland Southeast Asia. It's bordered to the north by Myanmar and Laos, to the east by Laos and Cambodia, to the south by the Gulf of Thailand and Malaysia, and to the west by the Andaman Sea. As globalization and integration become common themes in modern international business, business deals with foreign partners is vital to success. With this trend in mind, the question then becomes, what foreign markets should I do business? And if not one market, which market? As you ask yourself these questions, the risks fall into three categories: currency or financial risk, country or political risk, and cross-cultural risk. In this video, we will explore these three risks, but first, we will discuss the first two risks introduced to us by Tommy.
As with doing business in any foreign country, financial risks exist either in different currencies or even the same currency, as the rate of exchange and inflation of the country may be different from that of one's home country. Let's take a look at the history of Thailand's financial risk so that we can see the risk involved in doing business in Thailand. In 1997, Thailand experienced a major financial risk that spread to all of Southeast Asia. It started in Thailand, and it started with the devaluation of the Thai currency, the baht. The book calls this financial crisis the most formative event of recent Southeast Asian history. They say that it's worse than the 2008 financial crisis in the West. The cause of this financial crisis was that the value of the dollar increased. And now this is important because the baht, ringgit, and the yuan, which are all currencies in Southeast Asia, were all valued at the dollar. They were pegged to the value of the dollar. So as the value of the dollar increased, so did the values of these currencies as well. In the 1990s, banks in Thailand were very new and incompletely regulated. In 1996, stock and property markets began to wobble. This caused locals to flee, and many foreign investors pulled out. Banks then went into massive foreign debt, and it caused the baht to deplete by half. Just as quick as this financial crisis occurred, it also recovered very quickly. It's still not completely recovered. However, once when foreign business people realized the cost advantages of doing business in Southeast Asia, specifically Thailand, then it'll fully recover and actually excel and become part of the tiger economy. Now that we understand the financial risk of doing business in Thailand, let's discuss the country and political risks involved in Thailand. In general, Thailand has had a very unstable past. Let's take a look at this country's political and economic history. Around the 1960s, the Philippines was seen as an Asian trendsetter. They had the second highest per capita income in Asia, all of Asia, second only behind Japan. In the 1970s, this began to change as both South Korea and Taiwan passed the Philippines in terms of income per capita. And then in the 1980s, both Malaysia and Thailand surpassed them, and then so did China in the 1990s. Even though Thailand has had an unstoppable political past, even more so than the Philippines, who were second in the Asian economy, they were still able to surpass the Philippines in the 1980s and continue to outperform them for an entire decade. Thailand's economic superiority is really quite an accomplishment, seeing as only in the last 75 years, Thailand has experienced 18 coup attempts and 17 new constitutions. Since 1932, the birth of what is now Thailand, the last 83 years, they have experienced 21 coup attempts and 20 new constitutions.
Alright, so now let's talk about some of the cross-cultural differences between Thailand and the United States. Head. Thais consider the head to be the most honorable part of the body. Therefore, it's a great insult to touch a person's head, reach over it, or point at a person's face. If you accidentally forget and do so, politely beg his or her pardon. If necessary to reach for something above someone's head, say "excuse me" first. Whereas in the US, the head is considered just like any other part of the body. Foot. The foot is considered to be dirty by Thais. It's the lowest part of the body. Never point your foot, especially the bottom of your foot, at someone. Refer to it or draw attention to it unnecessarily. Never move anything with your foot or step over someone if they are sitting on the floor. Sit cross-legged or fold your legs to the side. When sitting on the floor, do not sit with your legs extended out in front of you. Always remove your shoes before entering a house. In the US, foot is considered dirty, but most people wouldn't mind you entering their houses with your shoes on. Displays of affection. Hand-holding between a man and a woman is acceptable, but no other public displays of affection are appropriate in Thai culture. However, you will often see members of the same sex holding hands. This usually does not imply homosexual feelings, but rather is a sign of friendship. In places like Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, South Africa, and America, it is common to see couples holding hands, hugging, or kissing in public. After this presentation, you may be feeling a little underwhelmed with doing business with Thailand. This video serves to show the risks involved so that one can make an advised decision in international business. Everywhere has its financial, country, and cross-cultural risks, but one question one should ask themselves, if not here, then where? So if not Thailand, where? And ask yourself, is the risk worth the reward? And remember that a high risk can also mean a high reward.